So specifically, what I do is I'm trying to engage things in a optimized performance way. I'll start out with getting up in the morning ridiculously early because it's ridiculously early, and it starts the day with a win, an intended movement forward. I am taking the energy from that and the neurochemistry and basically hacking the neurophysiology to take that energy and curate it throughout the day, generating more and more energy as I go through each interval of my day. So the next thing that happens is working out with Francis Benfato, who is an IFBB pro legend, like a Mr. Olympia caliber type of human being. He trains with me from Marbella, Spain, remotely, and we do a type of training called progressive performance methodology. That is a great type of training. You can do it every day. It's time under tension training, slow controlled movements with resistance, either bands or body weight. But because it's done with attention to as perfect form as you can do, slow controlled movements, you can do it every day, and it has many of the components of flow state, it turns out, or flow portal. So basically I start entering flow states through a physical practice. The physical practice is a tangible construct of what you're doing mentally and how you're constructing your mindset through your day. So much the same way of the physical exertion or the training, you have a coach, you have a therapist, right? You have a coach. In the case of mindset, you have a therapist or a psychiatrist or a life coach. And you're basically trying to perform each interval of your day better than the one before, okay? Same with the training, but the training gives you a tangible process to remember this, because we have very limited institutional memory as human beings. Like, we forget each day, at least I do, how it all works. So you have to kind of work your way through it and go, oh yeah, I remember now how this all works, and this feels great, so I'm going to keep doing it. Next, go into work, which is the practice, and I start seeing people as early as sometimes 5 in the morning, as late as sometimes 11 in the evening, and most days are at least 15 hours, if not 18 hours, back-to-back patients. People ask me, well, how are you able to do all that? It's because I'm just hacking the neurobiology that we all possess, and I just have been doing it for a little bit, so I know how to do it. At some point, your mind begins to shift again, and you look for ways to support your efforts, because the way that you're doing things is so satisfying to you, right? You're still getting things done in the world, but you're doing them in a manner that is satisfying, that it calms the mind and is exciting. So you want to start giving yourself more resources to perform at an even higher level to increase your capacity. So one of the things that I do is I'll drink a gallon of water. Why? Because it increases my ability to perform physically and mentally. That's the only reason. And I place the tools to achieve these things directly in the pathway of my life. So I have a little rule that anytime I talk about this with a client, which is quite often, I drink water, and pretty soon you notice that they have water bottles too, and so we sit here drinking our water and talking about performance stuff. So you litter the pathway of your life with your tools, so they're there so you can get them done. So I'll also have food prep, that's training food prep that's brought, that supports what I'm doing physically, but also I'm eating at interval throughout the day, about 4-hour intervals, with correctly proportioned size meals of about 250 to 450 kcals a meal. So I never am really hungry. I'm never too dopey, other than I'm normally dopey. I don't have extra dopiness from getting hypoglycemic, and I'm fueled in my efforts going through my day. I surround myself further with a crew or a posse, or in Buddhism, not that I'm Buddhist, but it would be called a sangha. It's a group of other human beings who support your efforts. So if you're the Dalai Lama and you come into town, if you're not with your crew, right, someone's probably going to say, hey, Dalai Lama, let's go over to the strip club over here. Dalai's, hello, Dalai, what do you... So if you're trying to lose weight, you don't want someone taking you in the ice cream shop or something like that, right? You want to have someone who promotes your efforts and actually takes joy and can witness, hopefully, your transcendence and evolution towards something, a better version of yourself. So you keep your crew and you keep them close. People who are smarter than me, obviously, is how I select people. Smarter than me and with very good character. The other things you can teach, those things you can't. And because we've done that, our selection of our team in that manner, we have an incredibly unique situation where we're actually in a place because we desire to be with each other, as opposed to a team by proximity, which is what most teams are. They're just they're a team because they got lumped together, and they're not necessarily effective or efficient, nor does each team member's efforts boost the other team member. That's what they try to do in the military, right, with their highly advanced tactical teams. What we've done is we've applied a similar concept to our selection of our team to get people better, and I think we do it honestly better than anybody else, in the manner, in the method, and in the our intention. So that's what I do. Now, I also happen to have a great family. I have a wonderfully supportive girlfriend for the better part of a decade, though she'll correct me and say it's been about 8 years or so. I've got some great kids and great in-laws, and I've got a couple puppies that I adore. So I also take time to replenish myself. So in the 3 or 4 hours left of the day, I enjoy, bringing down the engine of that and enjoying my loved ones, enjoying my friends and family, and enjoying our puppies, and everybody else enjoys our puppies too because they're super cute. So that's what I do, and then I get up and rinse and repeat, do the same thing, and it's very exciting, honestly, personally speaking, because and it's also very humbling because you are constantly pushing yourself past perceived limits of performance. I mean, not like once a year, but every day, and past that little bit of discomfort that you experience, there's endless seas of capacity. It's just amazing. So you're functioning in this level that is very compelling, that gets the job done, that does it with relative ease, energetically and mentally speaking. But at the same time, each day you're going to have an opportunity to go to just a little bit further, and a little bit further. And that little bit further is exciting. And if you have people along the way with you who are witness to that, or who are coaching you along with that, much like therapy or treatment, you create a very special bond with that human being, and you're able to, be part of something, of someone becoming a greater version of themselves, which, what we see in the practice is people becoming the version of themselves they're proud to be, that they're like, wow, this prime version of myself is, compelling. But it's very humbling as well, because you're in the trenches with the person practicing the same thing, coming up against obstacles, pushing past them, trying to learn technique, what works for, my clients generally works for me as far as if they come up with an obstacle and approach it a certain way. So everyone's always comparing notes as to, how to get the person to an elevated state. And so that's how I spend my days. And I moisturize.